with school like starting back up pretty soon, and with that all the obvious like things that come with it, like schoolwork and just the loss of summer, I decided I was gonna try to go back to a comfort read, you know, to have something to kind of just recuperate after all of it. And with that, I was gonna read hockey romance books for a week. Hockey romance has been like one of my favorite subgenres since I started reading. It started with The Deal by Elle Kennedy, which will forever be one of my top favorite books. So the two books I decided to read this week, the two books I decided I was going to read this week were The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy, and that follows Diana Dixon and Shane Lindley. And then the second book I decided to read was Pucking Wild by Emily Rath. Did I read Pucking Around as well? Yes. I just don't like talking about it because the names kind of like give away what it's about, you know? And it follows Tess Owens and Ryan Langley. So with those two books, let's get into it. So the first book of the week that I'm reading is The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. It's the second book in the diaries, the campus diaries by her. I've also read The Graham Effect, and I've read a lot of her other books. Let me tell you about something Elle Kennedy. She's gotta be one of my favorite authors. The Deal, Garrett Graham, I would kill for that man. You know, if people all have their book boyfriends, like you've heard of Aaron Warner, and don't get me wrong, he's a good choice, but my choice, Garrett Graham, all day. But that has nothing to do with this book, right? In this book, it follows Diana Dixon and Shane Lindley. And Shane Lindley. I'm 66 pages in. Nothing's really happened, but it's got one of the fake dating tropes, right? So you know it's gonna get good. And this girl, right, she is balancing like 2 jobs, a YouTube channel, competitive dance, and like being the captain of the cheer team. I aspire to be like that. And she's gonna get herself a hockey boyfriend. What? I need to calm down. I'm just really excited for this book to get things going, because Elle Kennedy, you know, Elle Kennedy never fails me when I read one of her books, and I've been in a wee bit of a reading slump. I got a good feeling. The references, it is so dark. The references to Ryder from The Graham Effect, going crazy. I think I like him even more now. Still doesn't stand up to Garrett Graham. It is the next morning. I did some heavy duty reading last night. I am now, I have 30 pages or so. To the end of the book, and I'm done. And it's getting pretty good. Spoilers here, but not expecting the entire his dad getting cancer. Not expecting that. It really, I went into this and like, it's a cheesy hockey romance. How serious can it be? And then it gets that, and I'm like, oh, so this is what it's gonna be. Okay. I finished it. Let's go. So obviously it's not going to be very objective here because I'm coming off like the book high, you know. I got a few things. Don't get me wrong, I'm very glad Percy got arrested, but would I have been upset if Shane beat him up? No. And number 2, bro, I don't know, all I can really think of is I really wish Shane beat Percy up. He deserves it, let's be honest here. Another banger by Elle Kennedy, in my opinion. The next book I'm planning on tackling is Pucking Wild. I don't have it on me right now, it's up on my shelf. It's Pucking Wild by Emily Rath. I read Pucking Around. I listened to the audiobook. It was a little hard to get through. I'm really hoping Pucking Wild, sorry, the name, but I really hope it's a little faster, you know? And that's it. I'll get back to you once I start reading it. I am like, you can't even see it, maybe like 200 pages left to go in the book. So, like a little bit over halfway. And that doesn't sound like a lot in the grand scheme of things, and it's really not in the grand scheme of things, but I don't, like, nothing's happening, right? I really wanted to like it, because, like, hockey romance is one of my, like, favorite subgenres, and this author, she does, like, she's written this and another one, and they're both popular, and I really wanted to like them, but it's just, I don't think Emily Rath is for me, because the book has so much potential so far. Like, besides the obvious, like, main thing that we're following between the girl Tess and the guy Ryan, there's also, like, her going through, like, a divorce, kind of, with her ex-husband, and she's, like, running a, I don't know what it's called, like, she's just, like, running this program or something to a volunteer? I don't remember what it's called, but she's, like, running this sea turtle thing, you know, to, like, save the sea turtles and protect the dunes and all of that, which is cool. You could have the politics or, like, just business, and they have both of those, like, very interesting things that I would really like to, like, keep following in the book. And, like, they're doing checkups. It's not like it's just kind of, like, dropped and forgotten, but I really want more of that and a little bit less of just no communication. And I just want them to have a conversation. And they've had conversations, but then just nothing happens. And it's they went on a whole date where she tells him everything that's going on with her ex-husband, and he's like, let me help you through it, and she's like, okay, but then refuses to let him help her through it. It also feels like a lot of this book is talking about, like, what's going on with the first book in the series. I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't like saying the title out loud, but it's this. But it keeps referencing the characters in the earlier part of the series, and it's just like, okay, cool, I read it, but that's not their book. Let's move on. I'm gonna finish this book. No matter what the demons inside of me are telling me, this book is gonna get finished. So, you can see all my cords, right? Hello? You can see all my cords, that's cute. I finished reading Pucking Wild. I don't know. Okay, so the ending was cute. I'll get that out of the way. Like, it's not all negative. The ending was cute. I did enjoy the little wedding and her, like, fake little proposals everywhere. And I did like that, like, finally they stood up against Troy, because that man deserves everything coming to him, you know. Do I kind of wish that he, like, got sent to jail? Yeah, but you know, that's Tessa's choice. Also, they're fictional characters, so not really my say in that matter, and not really a matter to have a say in. This book, I don't even know. Like, did I give it a really fair shot? Probably not. I mean, it's not. Emily Rath hasn't been, like, one of my favorite authors. I didn't really like her previous book, so it's not really fair for me to go into the next one and expecting to be, like, blown out of the water. I think Ryan and Tess are cute. A lot of back and forth. I don't even know, you can't even consider this slow burn, because it's not even slow burn, because it's very obviously, like, they say it from the very start, that they, like, are, like, magnetically attracted to each other. Not a quote, but, like, something they actually do say. So it's just, like, a lot of not if it'll happen, more about when it will happen. Words. What do I have to say about this book? What feelings does this book convey? Right? A lot of anger, but not sometimes in the bad way, as in I'm mad at the characters, and then sometimes in good where I'm, like, fired up, you know, really, like I'm gonna bop them in the head, you know, that type of feeling. Not really sadness. I don't cry a whole lot of books. The only book I think I've ever, like, cried about is Girl in Pieces. That book sent me on a train wreck, but I'm not talking about that book, am I? I'm talking about Pucking Wild by the Emily V. Rath, you know? I don't know. It was a whole lot of, what's the word? Hubbubaloo? A whole, yeah, we're gonna stick with that one. And you can't tell me I'm wrong. I don't think this book was for me. Putting that out there, it's probably like a 2.5, 3 stars. Welcome back, you know. Is this the same outfit as I did in the introduction? Yes, but that's because I filmed it after I finished reading, because I technically finished reading these books last night. Let's go over it, shall we? Let's get into it. So I only read 2 books for an entire week, and I know, compared to some others, that's not a lot. Am I a fast reader? No. Do I wish I was? Sure. But we work with what we're given, and I was given slow reading capabilities. But the actual book, so the first book I read was The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. You know, I gave it a 4.5 stars, which is good, but also it's not like saying a lot for me, just because something about the way Elle Kennedy writes, it always just, I don't know, I always end up liking it. Surprisingly, I actually haven't read a whole lot of her books, but this one I did read, and I'm going to try to continue this series as she's continuously releasing it. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say. It was a comfort read. It made me happy. I loved Shane Lindley. I liked Diana. I thought the story was interesting. It kind of was quick-paced, at least, or it felt it. There's not a lot to say. I liked it. But that brings us into Pucking Wild, which is kind of its counterpart. Not to say it's like a terrible book, because that's not, you can't really be objective with that. It's just like my opinion. But compared to the other one I read, this just did not land with me. And you know, that's okay. We live, we laugh, we love, we learn. I read that in a mom's household once, you know, up on the little posters. The actual book though, 2.5 stars. That's what I was going. I gave this a 2.5 stars. It took a while for the relationship to build up, but with the rest of it, she had a thing where she was like running a sea turtle foundation, and she was also like in kind of a legal battle trying to escape her abusive like ex-husband. And I thought if like those things were so juicy, I could have really like sunk my teeth into it, you know? But it didn't give me that. And instead I got a lot of pages of Ryan and Tess, which is okay, but I'm just like, I need something on top of the romance. So it keeps me thinking, I don't know. I did say though, I did really like the end of the book, the wedding, so cute. Them getting together, so cute. All the little things she's doing, so cute. There's so many cute parts, but you can't really like rate a book just on how I was feeling at one specific time. At least I don't do that. Mine's like an overall feel, you know? And overall, except for a book I feel like it should like make me, like keep me invested the whole time if I want to rate it a high star, not just be like, I really liked one chapter, 5 stars, you know, that doesn't me. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Surprisingly, back to the book. The weird thing about it though, like this was unplanned, but the books are like so similar, right? They both follow. I have like a little list here of all the things they have in common. Both of them have like girls who had like an abusive ex that they're like trying to actively get away from, or like already are kind of away from, that they keep coming back, but just in an abusive relationship with an ex. And so they're either like living or they moved to become like neighbors and or roommates, depending on the book you read, with the hockey like love interest, the hockey boy, right? And those are kind of the big differences, which by themselves, it's like out of the grand scheme of how many books there are in the world, did I even turn this recording on? Yeah, I did. Out of the grand scheme of how many books there are in the world, is that crazy that two of them have a very similar setup? Not really, but for both of them being like, I accidentally chose to read in the same week in a hockey book back to back, that's just kind of weird, you know? And then, but also, there's only a 4-page difference. Like, they were almost the exact same length. And this isn't really important, but what I noticed, the two guys are, like, Shane Lindley and Ryan Langley. The last names, right? I'm not, like, making that up because I'm like, oh, they're so similar. Like, they sound so similar. So, that's upside down. That's also upside down. As always, if either of these books interested you, even if some of them not interest me, if either of them interest you, right, I still recommend, like, try reading them for yourselves. Don't take my opinion for it. My opinion's kind of all over the place sometimes. I'm not a scholar. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just like talking, and that's how that works, right? So read these books for yourself if they're interesting. And other than that, I'm actually done talking, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.